you hear about the latest political crisis? It feels like nothing ever changes.
And what about the financial struggles? How are we supposed to get ahead?
I'm just overwhelmed with everything happening. It's affecting my mental health.
All this noise, all this confusion is a sign the society is in conflict. But it doesn't have to stay this way. Join Stephanie Darah every Tuesdays from 9:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. on the program Towards a Peaceful Society, where love and hope are pivotal to drive positive change. A rebroadcast comes up on Saturday from 6:30 to 7 p.m. Don't be left behind, for together
we can build a peaceful society.
Good morning, beautiful listeners, and thank you so much for keeping the rendezvous with us on another special edition of the program Towards a Peaceful Society, where we strive for peace at all levels. I am your regular host, Stephanie Darah, and on today's edition of the program, we will be talking more about aging persons in Cameroon, and it's in that light that we have some very important guests with us here in the studio. We have two ladies and a gentleman. Before we unveil or we get the cat out of the bag, let us take on this bar of music.
This is a victory song. Jesus is glorified. He has taken my pain and given me laughter. I've got a melody in my heart, a new song in my mouth. I will shout for joy, tell the world of his great works. Yo, 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 yo. This is a victory song. Jesus is glorified. He has taken the pain and given me laughter. Giving me laughter.
A warm welcome back, radio friends. This is the program Towards a Peaceful Society on the Christian Broadcast and Service Radio, FM 101.0. And like I earlier promised, today we'll be talking about aging with dignity. You know, of recent we've been targeting older persons because this particular group of people are often neglected in the society and they go through a lot that many of us are not talking about. So today we'll be looking at aging with dignity, Cameroon and the global push for a UN convention. And this will be on the rights of older persons with a focus on the GAROP Age with Rights campaign global rally for 2026 in Cameroon. I know many of you may be wondering, what is the GAROP Age with Rights campaign? You will be knowing all of that and getting more details as the program unfolds. But before then, let us know who we have with us here in the studio. I'll begin with my left, the lady on my left, and then we'll proceed to the other lady. We'll end with the gentleman. You know, we always say ladies first. So let us give the ladies the pride of place. Good morning, ma'am, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be here today. I am Madam Gana Patience, the CEO of Rural Women's Actions for Sustainability and Justice.
Thank you so much, Madam Patience Banmi Gana, for being with us. Ma, can we also know your name, please?
Thank you so very much for this wonderful opportunity to be here this morning. I'm Madam Nchang Pamela, the WASH focal point for GRACAROM, Grace Charitable Organization.
All right. And the gentleman? A regular voice on the program, but we still need to know you.
Good morning. Thank you, Stephanie. I'm Tumenta Acham and I'm administrator for the Regional Center for the Welfare of Aging Persons in Cameroon, RECEWAPEC.
All right. Thank you all so much for honoring our invitation to be here today. It's a full house. You know, we have the Executive Director of Rural Women's Action for Sustainability and Justice, Madam Patience Banmi Gana. We equally have Madam Nchang Pamela of Grace Charity Organization. Not forgetting Mr. Tumenta Acham, who is an admin with RECEWAPEC, which is the Regional Center for the Welfare of Aging Persons in Cameroon. Let us head straight away to our talking point, and I will begin with you, Mr. Tumenta Acham. What is the Age with Rights campaign, and why is it very important for Cameroonians right now?
All right. Thank you very much, Stephanie, for that very important question. before we get into the details of what the Age with Rights campaign is all about, I would like to talk a little bit about GAROP.
Okay.
Because GAROP is the initiator of this Age with Rights campaign. GAROP is the Global Alliance for the Rights of Older Persons. And RECEWAPEC is a member of this alliance. So GAROP is a front-line actor as far as advocacy for the rights of aging persons globally is concerned, and works in close collaborations with Help Age International. So the Age with Rights campaign was launched in 2021 by GAROP during the 10th session of the United Nations Open-Ended Working Group on Aging, which is a group that was established by the UN in 2010 to look into issues of aging, the legal framework on aging issues, identify the gaps, and also propose a way forward. So during the 10th session, the Age with Rights campaign was launched by GAROP, and the purpose of this campaign at that time was to bring together voices to advocate for the effective participation of governments in this open-ended working group, and also for these governments in their participation to support further and more substantial action as far as protecting the rights of aging persons is concerned. So 3 sessions, 3 annual rallies have been organized between 2021 and 2024 within the context of this Age with Rights campaign. And so in 2024, the open-ended working group wrapped up its work, and with Decision 1401, agreeing that there are gaps as far as aging issues is concerned, and there is need for a global, well-designed framework for the protection of the rights of aging persons.
So that it will be like every person is doing the same thing at the same time, not having lapses here and there.
So that is where the idea of a UN Convention on the Rights of Aging Persons it came about. And then now Resolution 5813, I think so, in 2025, now adopted that decision, creating now the Intergovernmental Working Group for the drafting of the UN Convention. And so since that objective of, first of all, agreeing that we should draft a convention had already been achieved, there needed to be a shift. So the Age with Rights campaign did not end, but shifted its message. Now, the focus of that campaign is advocating for governments to participate effectively in that Intergovernmental Working Group, and also for that participation to be shaped in a way that, one, it takes into full consideration the interest of the aging persons at the grassroots, and also the process for the drafting to also be participatory, encompassing the participation of the civil society who are very close to aging persons, and also the aging persons themselves.
You know, this grassroots participation is what makes it very, very interesting.
Yes.
Because if you are embarking on a development intervention and you don't involve the people involved, because the people who are on the ground and know their problems best know what can be done to solve their issues. So if they are kept aside, then I don't think that development is going to be sustainable enough. So I think that a laudable initiative there, taking it at the grassroots level.
Nothing for us without us. That's the principle.
Exactly.
You understand?
Development for the people, by the people.
And yes, so now the rally for 2026 is focused on activism towards, or advocacy towards, the first session of the Intergovernmental Working Group, which holds from the 18th to the 20th of February.
All right.
So what is the focus? Let us advocate with our government and all stakeholders so that the government should be actively involved in this first session, and also the discussions which has to lay groundwork for the procedure for the drafting to take into consideration proper mechanisms. First, proper contents, and then also proper participation of the civil society, the aging persons themselves, and all other stakeholders. That is why it is actually falling between the 1st and the 7th, so that it is closer to the international activity which is taking place in New York.
All right. Thank you so much, Tumenta Acham Peter, for laying the groundwork on what this campaign rights of older persons is all about. Let me now switch to Justice Patience Banmi Gana, who is the Executive Officer of the Rural Women's Action for Sustainability and Justice. Greetings once more, ma'am. And could you please tell us who has been involved in this campaign so far?
Thank you for that wonderful question. Considering that this campaign is a global action, it's a global movement, everybody is involved. It is a bottom to top advocacy.
Mm-hmm.
It is a bottom to top movement. Nobody left behind. We have the old people that are involved, the civil society, the government, all stakeholders are involved in this advocacy. At the level of the international framework, we have GAROP, as Mr. Tumenta rightly said, that is amplifying global advocacy.
Mm-hmm.
At the level of Cameroon, we have RECEWAPEC leading this advocacy alongside with R.W.A.S.J and GRACAROM as implementing partner for the GAROP Age with Rights Alliance project rally for 2026. Yeah. So it's an inclusive movement because aging is a continuous process. We are all aging.
Exactly.
Nobody is left behind in the process of aging. We are today young, tomorrow will be old. So a collective action that will ensure the rights of older people, it will be an action to ensure our future. So everybody is involved in this activity.
Indeed, everyone is involved.
And sorry, she also forgot to mention Acham.
Okay.
Acham, Yaoundé based, which is the leading francophone organization concerned with issues of aging persons in Cameroon.
All right.
They have also been well involved.
Thank you so much for adding that. It's really, really good to see that young persons too are involved in spearheading issues concerning advocating for the rights of older persons, because we are young today. If we don't advocate for the rights of older persons, the time we are old, we would be marginalized as well, or will not be treated properly. So we need to take care of the older persons now, so that when we too are old, we would be taken care of by the future generation. Listeners, let us take on this brief musical interlude, and when we come back, we'll be looking at some of the projects that are focused on this intervention. Thank you, Alvo Johnson, for that bar of music. Let us head straight away to looking at the different activities that make up this project of aging persons in Cameroon, in line with aging with dignity. And we are looking at the global push for a UN Convention on the Rights of Older Persons in Cameroon. Let me tilt back to Mrs. Patience Banmi, Gana, to tell us some of the activities that constitute this project.
Thank you for these wonderful questions. As an advocacy, we have to carry out activities, both speaking and physical activities. Okay. And considering that this is a collective movement from bottom to top, we have been carrying out activities to mobilize the older community, the older people, because their voice matters. Nothing for us without us. So, under the leadership of RECEWAPEC, activities have been carried out in Tuba, mobilizing older people to the tune of over 50 older persons, and together with stakeholders and other civil society organizations. We have also carried out activities in Yaoundé to do interministerial consultations to meet the ministers, the technical ministries that are concerned, like MINAS, MINPROF, External Relations, the Parliament, and the Prime Ministry, the Ministry of Public Health. Okay. Because when we talk of social protections, we are also indicting the Ministry of Social Affairs, Ministry of Public Health.
Absolutely.
Yes. And also we are involving the parliamentarian, because for the UN Convention to be domesticated in Cameroon, the parliament has to play a role.
Okay.
Yes, so they cannot be left behind.
So they too can adopt bills that are favorable in line with...
so they have to adopt policies that are gender sensitive in the implementation. We also have the external relation, because the drafting process requests that older people should participate, and when we talk of participation, it's active. So the Minister of External Relations is equally involved to facilitate the movement of these older people to be part of that discussion on the drafting of a new UN convention on the protection of the right of older people. So these are technical ministries that were involved in our activities. And besides that, we also carry out a webinar to do a public sensitization on the social media platform. That was on the 30th of January, which was an international, that is a global advocacy strategy to talk about the need for a new UN convention. It is new because other UN conventions has been existing, but not for the older people.
So we need something that can narrow down to the aging persons.
Yes, exactly. So there is need for all of us to see into it that convention is put in place, and Cameroon government take all steps for the domestication of this UN convention.
That is a beautiful one there, Madam Patience Banmi. Let me now turn to the other lady here in the studio, Madam Nchang Pamela, who is WASH focal point for the Grace Charitable Organization, GRACAROM. Tell us more about these activities.
Okay, thank you so very much, Madam. Recently, GRACAROM carried out some outreach programs and actually met with some aging individuals in the community, over 50 of them. I had as activities medical follow-up, consultations, free consultations to check on their BP, their sugar levels, their eyes, and even other health issues that has to do with their eating habits. And we asked a few questions to some of them, one and the same questions, like, how do you really feel at this age? And almost all of them were like, we are being neglected.
Okay.
Nobody listens to us. Our voices are not heard. The government has abandoned us. Even back in our neighborhoods, nobody cares. Even our own children, they just pass around when they like. They buy phones and they come and give us. They teach us how to use these phones.
Children just neglecting their grandparents.
Yes. Yeah.
So they are really feeling left out.
Feeling left out. So they were pleading that the government should really come in and see what to do something concerning them, because there can be no development without the aging population. They are the ones who have been there in that community. So if they have to do anything, they'll have to contact an aging person first to know how this place was, how this area was, how this environment was, before any development can take place.
Since they had lived before, they have a better knowledge and understanding of everything. There is this day that we celebrate, Old Citizens Day, exactly, which is to acknowledge that older persons have a role to play, and we should also try as much as possible to consult these persons time and time again. You may sit and say, I'm confused as a youth, as a young person, I don't know what to do, I don't know how to go about this. Go to your grandma, go to your grandpa. They will have something to tell you that is going to add to your personal growth and development. So I think that these persons are not to be left out. Mr. Tumenta, anything to add?
Not really. A lot has been spoken already, but as Madame Gana already said, interministerial consultations, they were done and even are still going on. And one of the principal objectives of this, why is it interministerial in the first place, is because when we talk about the protection of the rights of aging persons, not only one ministry in Cameroon is involved.
Exactly.
There is one of their main problems is health. So they cannot go to New York and they are talking about the rights of aging persons, a convention, and the technicians as far as health is concerned is not there. So first and foremost, the advocacy is at the level that the government should ensure that the key ministries who are involved as far as the rights of aging persons is concerned should be represented in that delegation. And that also, as these ministries are going, they should not just be the ones going. The civil society who are very close to the aging persons, they should accompany that delegation. The aging persons themselves, nobody can talk about them better than them. They should also be on the table when these discussions are taking place. So this has been going on, and so far so good. I think a lot has been achieved already.
All right. I believe Madam Nchang Pamela made mention of the fact that they carry out free screening in line with blood pressure testing, sugar testing, and so on. What are some of the common illnesses that you notice that are, let's say, dominant among the older persons?
Thank you so very much, Madam, for that wonderful question. It's a call for concern and a very big worry. We have glaucoma, we have a cataract, and then we have some were complaining of shaky eyeballs. I don't know. I'm not a medical practitioner. I don't know how to explain that. They were complaining of shaky eyeballs. So we are really advocating for the government to take, to do something that the aging population, they will admire themselves, because some were like, I don't like myself. I don't like this old age of a thing. I don't like it. And I definitely know you, my child, excuse me, you will not equally like yourself when you get to this age. So we want the government to come in and other stakeholders to make this aging population, age with dignity. People should like to get old. When you are getting old, it should not be as if it's a crime. It's a punishment. It's natural. It's nature, and you have to pass through that stage. Thank you.
You should be aging with a smile on your face, like, oh, I'm growing older. Oh, I'll soon be turning 50. Oh, I'm almost 60. We should be aging with joy in our hearts. So that is why we are advocating for a better environment, better policies that would favor aging persons. Let me turn now to Madam Patient Banmi to know how civil society organizations and community leaders, as well as ordinary citizens, can support the Age with Rights campaign during this period. And you may also want to give a little throw more light on the International UN Convention, how it actually fosters the Sustainable Development Goals in Cameroon.
Thank you for this wonderful question. For question 1, on point 1, that is, how do we contribute to the success of this convention? At the level of the civil society is the watchdog. Okay. They are the mouthpiece. So we continue to amplify advocacy. We continue advocating to mobilize at the level of grassroots. We do community mobilization, grassroots mobilizations for massive participation, for massive voices, because the more the older people get involved and make their voices heard, they reach the content of the UN Convention, because the essence of the advocacy is for them to speak, to tell us the challenges that they are facing. We are not yet old, they are old, they know what they are going through.
So that you can know the strategies that can be employed to solve these problems.
From their challenges, we'll be able to channel the challenges that they will face at the level of the UN, so that when finally they are documenting this global instrument, the content should be able to accommodate those different challenges, which I want to say here that the older people are affected differently, because an old woman has different challenges from an old man, because
gender sensitive
yes,
issues.
because of her age, and secondly because of her gender. There are a lot of things that an older woman faces that is different from that of a man. So we need to do this close to the grassroots mobilization, sensitization, fact finding, so that they will participate, be able to say, this is what I face. A man should be able to tell us what he is suffering as an old man, and a woman should be able to tell us, so that collectively, when on the table, when they are finally drafting that law, the
solutions will be narrowed across solving the issues of the men and the women.
Yeah, inclusive, gender sensitive UN convention. We don't just want any convention. It should be the one that will accommodate all the different challenges.
Thank you so much. With that, it is going to be effective, because it's needless, having a convention or coming up with bills that are favoring one party. Then you need to come back again to start adopting another one, or hosting another convention to see that it solves the problem of the other. So we are glad to know that it is cutting across both genders.
Yes. So on the contents of the UN Convention, actually the UN Convention is coming like a remedy, because the UN has been existing for over 80 years, and we have had series of conventions on the protection of other aspects like women, children, person with disability. But nothing has been documented as far as older people are concerned. That is why this we call new UN Convention is very important for everybody. It is going to foster the health services in Cameroon. It's going to improve on the health services. It's going to improve on the access to justice for those older people. It is going to, foster the implementation of gender-sensitive laws vis-a-vis the convention, unlike the other existing UN convention. So it is very important. because it's coming like a value added. And it's also in line with Cameroon National Development Strategy Agenda 2030, which is the second phase of the 2025 big vision of transforming Cameroon. The UN Convention equally aligns with the Sustainable Development Goals on zero poverty, equality, because when there is social protection for the older people, it is going a long way to reduce poverty. Most of these old people, they take care of grandchildren with little or no funds.
Definitely.
Most of them, they don't work with the government, and so they are not entitled to pension or any social protections. So the content of that UN convention is supposed to make provisions for pensions, social security, to lessen the financial burden on the older people.
Okay.
So it is coming at a time that we are really waiting, because Cameroon is ready to an extent, because Cameroon first of all ratified the African Charter and its protocol on the rights of aging persons, which is already a leeway to show that Cameroon is willing to do something about the aging issues in Cameroon. So that already is a positive signal that Cameroon will be able to, back home, domesticate this UN convention in a way that will address all the aging challenges that Cameroonians in the aging process are facing.
All right. Thank you so much. I wish we could continue talking on and on, but it's already clear that time is not on our side. So I'm just going to take what personally motivated you to get involved in this rally. You briefly tell us, and also tell us that one message that you want policymakers to take. I'll begin with Tumenta Pete.
All right. Thank you very much. Personal motivation. First, from the perspective of an individual, I feel a particular attachment to aging persons because I grew up with one.
Okay.
And I know the challenges that they face. Secondly, I am very much aware that aging is desirable. Nobody wants to die now. And so if I ignore what aging persons are going through, they are waiting for me ahead. So that and many more, there are some of the things that push me individually. At the level of organization, RECEWAPEC, we exist for the aging persons. If none of the aging persons, we will not exist.
All right. Thank you so much.
They are the people that we serve. And so any business which is something that has to do with aging persons is our business by and large, every blessed day.
Okay.
So if this whole issue is going on and then RECEWAPEC is not talking, we are not involved, then we are not true to our mission.
Indeed. Thank you so much, the admin for RECEWAPEC, Tumenta, Acham, Peter, for that contribution. What about you, Madam Nchang Pamela of the GRACE Charitable Organization?
Thank you so very much, ma'am, for that wonderful opportunity again. Actually, I've lived with old people. I've visited old people. I see them on daily basis, and I see what they go through. Honestly, what the aging population, the aging people are going through is not really encouraging. Reason being that this issue of abandonment, that is what is actually making this issue looking like a crime, or like, they did something wrong. All of us will want to get to that level. So our stand at GRACAROM, Grace Charity Organization, we are ready to work with any stakeholders, with the government, and still advocating that the government should come in and see how together we can work with the grassroots to make this aging with dignity, something that we would like to pass through that process. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Indeed, we need to age with dignity, age with a smile on our faces. Let us get that of Madam Patience Banmi.
Thank you so much. RWA.S.J, which is Royal Women's Actions for Sustainability and Justice, is dedicated to advancing gender justice, and in globally that includes the rights of vulnerable populations. And the right of elderly people falls within that of the vulnerable populations. And I am equally very interested in this advocacy because I'm also taking care of older people. I have my mom that is 93 years old today. Wow. So I know what it takes to take care of older people. And then I imagine if they are left all alone. So it is a high time that we get involved seriously to see how we can collectively have a common way of, protecting generally all the elderly people, the ones that are childless, the ones that they don't have relatives. They should be able to be protected by a national protection net. So that is one of the reasons why RWA.S.J got involved, because aging is touching on every roof.
Indeed, aging is touching on every roof. Listeners of the Christian Broadcasting Service Radio, it's on this note that we put a cap to today's edition of the program, Towards a Peaceful Society. We won't leave without appreciating you, Madam Patience Banmi, Gana, the Executive Director of the Rural Women's Action for Sustainability and Justice. We equally thank Madam Nchang Pamela, who is the watch focal point for GRACAROM, that is Grace Charitable Organization. Not forgetting you, Tumenta, Acham, the admin for RECEWAPEC, which is the Regional Center for the Welfare of Aging Persons in Cameroon. I remain your regular host, Stephanie Darah, and we encourage you to stay tuned to many more exciting editions of this program, Towards a Peaceful Society.
Did you hear about the latest political crisis? It feels like nothing ever changes.
And what about the financial struggles? How are we supposed to get ahead?
I'm just overwhelmed with everything happening. It's affecting my mental health.
All this noise, all this confusion is a sign the society is in conflict. But it doesn't have to stay this way. Join Stephanie Darah every Tuesdays from 9:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. on the program Towards a Peaceful Society, where love and hope are pivotal to drive positive change. A rebroadcast comes up on Saturday from 6:30 to 7 p.m. Don't be left behind, for together
we can build a peaceful society.